especially right now. This is, I feel like the energy of Mercury retrograde is because there's so much emotional push of pulling to the surface of what's lying dormant, of perhaps what hasn't been healed, or stirring up things in our life that could be very heavy and painful, that it's time to either take action, or with your reading, it's being very cautious. It's having a seat. It's being careful of how you communicate things. This is the wisdom card of going, if you're not careful, you can really rush in and create harm with your communication. Hello Aquarians, welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica and this is your weekly zodiac reading. Make sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising as well as your Venus to make sure you have the clearest picture you can possibly have for your energies and messages this week. So let's get started with your overall energy and see what's coming in for you. Ocean of love, of eternal love, healing, creativity, and fertility. So let's go ahead and check what your future or higher self and what messages are coming through to you this week. There's a lot of energy coming on with Mercury going retrograde on the 9th. Whoops, seeing two of them, but this one jumped first. Vulva, prophecy, guidance, and direction. Love that. Very goddess energy. And especially with all this love energy already going on in your reading, let's go to your guides. I felt it, but not quite. Yeah, this is a lot of energy this week. So this is from your guides, from your angels, from your goddesses, your gods, your devils, and your demons. All of the energy that supports you in the 5D for your messages that are coming through. I love the colors of this already. It's very blues and in the fall colors. So this final row will be for, I've been calling it your kind of hidden messages, as well as just some insight that perhaps is like a little tips and tricks. This one is get some rest. So you know who that is if you are on the edge of just pushing yourself a lot, or with all of these energies, it can feel very heavy. So get rest. That really does add clarity when we have a lot of sleep behind us. So let's go ahead and clarify the tarot and see what messages are coming through. So Ocean of Eternal Love. Oh, right there. So Queen of Wands, Judgment in reverse, and then 5 of Swords. For your higher or future self, for prophecy, guidance, and direction, 10 of Swords. Hangman. Seven of Cups. Your guides, your 5D messages right down the bottom. The Fool. 6 of Swords. 9 of Swords. Woo! Hermit. 4 of Wands, 4 of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And I want this Judgment in reverse to be clarified. Clarify Judgment in reverse right there. So 3 of Pentacles, King of Swords, and Emperor. Okay. So definitely some healing going on with this energy. The Queen of Wands is definitely a beautiful supporting. Some of you have done a lot of work in creating this space, especially with the Emperor and the King of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles in this Judgment. Okay, so a lot of information here. So the Queen of Wands is definitely inspiring you to keep your passion, keep your fire alive during a lot of these energies of healing that are going to be going on. Perhaps it's time to just kind of lay back a little bit and pushing forward to exactly that. What did I say? Yes, you've got the Four of Cups right here. So I'm really feeling kind of a pause with this Mercury in retrograde energy. Don't make any too hasty decisions at this time, but keep that passion and fire of what you're creating in your life. The ocean of eternal love is really feeding this energy of momentum and creation. However, it is in the moonlight. So with the moonlight that you see here, a lot of things aren't clear. And so it's feeling, the word comes to mind is muddled, just a little muddled, unclear. And it's time to just sit back on your throne and create the momentum of this Emperor and King of Swords energy of having a lot of clarity, a lot of stability in where you're going. The Judgment of New Beginnings is in reverse. So it's telling me that a little bit of that feeling of the awakened, the new beginning is not quite there. So we're going through it. It feels like more like a 9 than a 10 at this point. Over in this, like with the whole picture, it's just really pause. And I'm getting that in a lot of readings right now, is to get really clear on what you want to create, but it's time to just kind of hang back in your thrones. I'm just seeing them sitting. That's really predominant in your reading of just sitting back, getting really focused, being really clear on what you're communicating, what you want to communicate, creating that security of knowing that anything that happens is for its highest good. And it's something that, with the Seven of Cups down here, is keeping really focused on your dreams, aspirations, what you want to create. And in the meantime, while you're sitting there, to really focus in on the Three of Pentacles energy, which is, it's coming of the minds, with people of like mindset, people that inspire us, people that can push us into maybe new ways of thinking, new ways of being. That's why I love books so much. As the saying goes, that why live one life when you can live 1,000 by reading books. And I really do believe that we just propel ourselves into wisdom when we read a book of someone else's research, their study, their experience of life. Now, do we have to take that solely as our own? No, but we've gone through the journey of their pearls that they've gathered, and of wisdom and experience, and they're kind of shortcuts into different ways in our life that we can implement things. And I do believe that Three of Pentacles energy is, it could be places that you can go and mingle and create communities that we empower each other. Yes. If that's something that inspires, or you're pulled to. The other thing is if you're not, and you're more of an introvert, but you want knowledge, you want information, or whatever your situation may be, time, then I say go to books, go to podcasts of intelligent people having great conversations. It's a really great way to propel yourself into wisdom of information and finding ways for yourself that are new. The Five of Swords is down here. There might have been some energy. I'm feeling, there's just that tense energy that's going on in the universe right now. This is walking away from something. Perhaps the energy is to leave it alone, not buy in, not pick up your swords with all this energy that is so tense. Perhaps it's time to lay down arms and just be with what is, be that ocean of eternal love, and choose healing rather than more conflict with the energy that's going on. You can see it with driving. You can see it with different things that people, it's one of those things that we draw into our realm too. If we're feeling very conflicted, we can sometimes draw in, like, seems like on the road all of a sudden you see a lot of angry drivers, and And the universe is just reflecting us and how we feel and what's being brought into our awareness. So if we keep going back to that eternal ocean of love, then perhaps we will draw in more of the energy of reflecting a more loving energy. When you go to prosperity, guidance, and direction, you've got the Ten of Swords. So what I'm hearing is that whatever is going on that is this is how you feel, there's a new dawn awakening. And until we move through all of this sticky energy, several signs have also gotten this, the Hangman, and it really is the opportunity to, it's non-movement, it's sitting, to sit back on your throne, staying where you're at, really going within, getting enlightened, however that looks for you, whether it be meditation, a book, or just doing something that you really love to do, like a hobby, and getting out of the energy of, well, or just moving with it. If you are really feeling like all the swords are in your back right now, just focus on the horizon. It's gonna change. Getting clear about what you want is important, and while you're hanging there or sitting in your throne, really looking at all of the opportunity for the fulfillment of dreams. And you Aquarians, we're the star card. Like, my moon is in Aquarian. So it's time for us to really tap into that intuition of knowing what we're creating, going against the grain of what everyone else is doing with this fighting energy, and really being in our peace, really being in that love energy. And that is backed with your guides here. Like, this is angelic assistance of divine guidance and loving support. So your guidance is also telling you, shift into love, shift into love, shift into healing, shift into acceptance, and you'll find your direction through the murkiness of this and having that leap of faith. So you've got the Fool. We're always the Fool in our life. This is what this is all about, is us having this beautiful journey of stepping into the unknown, learning. The beautiful thing is he always has this puppy on his heels, and that represents that wisdom of going, oh yeah, take a leap of faith, but use wisdom and care with your steps, so that you can, and every time we set off on our Fool's journey, every time that there's a death and a rebirth to us, we can step off with more wisdom, with more accuracy of where we're placing our footing, but also knowing that it's going to be a new adventure. And when we do that and we take that step of courage, we get into the boat to calmer waters. So this is where we're headed. Right now it may feel very turbulent with these waters right now. With the Six of Swords, she's in the boat, she's packed up everything, or he, and it's clear intention on moving forward. So with your divine guidance, it is really, it's saying you're supported. You're like this beautiful boat. Your guides are like steering the boat that's assisting you along your way to safe passage through these turbulent waters right now. I feel like that the Knight of Swords is your caution. This is, the horse is very stressed. It's being pushed to the limits. There's a lot of anger in this. I'm feeling. Especially right now, I feel like the energy of Mercury retrograde is because there's so much emotional push of pulling to the surface of what's lying dormant, of perhaps what hasn't been healed, or stirring up things in our life that could be very heavy and painful, that it's time to either take action, or with your reading, it's being very cautious. It's having a seat. It's being careful of how you communicate things. This is the wisdom card of going, if you're not careful, you can really rush in and create harm with your communication. So be very clear on your footing. That's what I'm getting with the Fool here. I've also in other readings have received that Knight of Cups energy of just really sure-footedness of how we communicate our feelings and our energy at this time. And so I'm feeling that's really where we should lean at this point, and where you should as well with this. This is the energy of really taking a step back, really getting clear before you take action. Getting some rest, your tips and tricks. We see the world so differently after a really good nap or a really good sleep. And so if we're feeling wrapped up all in this angst, perhaps before we respond to something, perhaps some good rest, some nourishing food. The Hermit backs this with just one step at a time, really going within to get clarity on the path and taking our time with that. And when we do that, we create, well, there's the Four of Wands here. And this is very foundational. It's stability. I mean, you've got the Emperor here on the other side. So really creating ground, your footing is what I'm hearing with this reading. Aquarians, we can be very that beautiful air energy, but out of being grounded, we can lose touch of moving with care, with wisdom. So don't get wrapped up in all of this energy of retrograde, of just storming. It is really sitting on your throne, getting grounded, getting your feet planted, and then when it is clear, take action. So that goes back down to these two cards, which is the Four of Cups and then the Wheel of Fortune. And the Four of Cups is just, I'm really feeling you observing your options and the directions in which you should take. And by carefully considering that, I'm really hearing when you take the care and the time to not hurry into this energy, you create the Wheel of Fortune. And this could be love, all of this could, I mean, it could be a romance, it could be partnerships in that way, or it could be your money. This could actually go either way. For you, especially having the Wheel of Fortune here. It can be karma, but we can really count on that if we take our time and have our sure footing, that we can get the result that we want with this Wheel of Fortune card here being here. So I love this reading. It's very beautiful. It's just it's very grounded. It's very, being solid in your movements this week. Keep, when things feel out of tune, the tips and tricks is going to be get some rest first before you make a decision. So Aquarius, I hope you loved your reading. I sure did. It was very beautiful, and I know that I gathered a lot of information, being that my moon is in Aquarius. So together we move through this beautiful energy of transformation with Mercury in retrograde. I sure do appreciate your time spending it with me. Please subscribe and of course like, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.